Yo, all verse rising, my soul family. All verse rising. So we're gonna talk about this, right? For you mom and dads out there, you parents out there that have children, and your children are one of these spiritual children that are just like otherworldly beyond your comprehension, to the point like when they speak, you're just completely blank on what they say, especially when they're around other biological relatives who is not as spiritually intelligent as them. Let me tell you something. These conspiracy theorist children that get labeled as conspiracy theorists by the slave owner masses, they can really help you out and break away from a lot of these slave owner indoctrinations and take you to the elevation that you were meant to go to. Okay, like this is one thing I comprehend. When these humanoid extraterrestrials have children, newborns, it's because like these children that they have birth is going to help them reach a spiritual intelligence that they couldn't do by themselves, because of the slave owner indoctrination teachings that they was buying into from these slave owner narcissistic indoctrinated two-faced joker deceivers for their whole entirety longevity when they was growing up as a child, right? Let me tell you something. These conspiracy theorist children, man, they are your saviors. They are your heroes. You know, your conspiracy children, your conspiracy theorist children are your heroes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you something. Anytime a 5-year-old was to tell me something that I never heard before, or I can't even look up on Google, they're telling the truth. They're speaking from intuition, because you know, a lot of spiritual beings, we speak from intuition. We don't speak from a Google source on spiritual intelligence that we see from a matrix or a slave owner indoctrination matrix. You know, because we're not fake phony beings. We're legit. We're the heroes that can actually help the multiverse get better and end this fucking slavery, right? So like, because like it really hurts me when a lot of these spiritual children kind of get neglected by their mom and dads that don't hear them out when he got something to say about this slave owner indoctrination matrix, right? So like, for example, right, you know, if these spiritual children that get labeled conspiracy theorists was to say to their own mom and dad that these so-called Yankees and patriot police officers, that's correct. If you don't know that the Yankees and patriots, they come from a lineage and formed the damn police industry. The police industry is a bunch of Yankees and patriots. That's the truth. Look at the uniforms that they wear. It's all the truth. It's everywhere in North America with the courthouses. Nothing but Yankees and patriots there. It's nothing indigenous and spiritual about the police industry. Because let me tell you something. If you go back in cotton picking slavery, the police industry, they had the slaves pick cotton in handcuffs. And what do they do to slaves? They put them in handcuffs. And guess what? The same people who be labeling, you know, these soulful beings as conspiracy theorists and crazy, you know, it happened back in cotton picking slavery. Anytime an individual spoke out against the slave owners from having these slaves pick cotton with handcuffs, the same people who would call somebody like me a conspiracy theorist, they would defend these damn slave owners like a fucking dummy. Like literally, like if I was in the era of the cotton picking slavery, I would be the main person who would speak out against the slave owners from having these individuals and having animals being slaves picking cotton with handcuffs, right? And the terminology skeletons in closet means the damn Yankee Doodle-Doo police officers, slave owners, they had literally put their slaves in the closet and burned them. You can't learn that in these colleges. You can't learn that in a fucking Christianity book. Where is that information at in a Jehovah book where the slaves got burnt in closet by the slave owners? I can't find it in the Bible. I can't find it in the Quran. Carbonation can't tell you that. Black power movements can't tell you that. You know, Masons can't tell you that. Fraternities can't tell you that, because why? They're part of an indoctrination. And that came from my intuition. I read between the lines with a lot of stuff that be saying with these famous quotes, like skeletons in the closet. They burnt the slaves in the closet, right? Because think about it, I had an experience before of people of my own skin complexion try to go against me because I speak out against slave owners. You know, it would be no different if I was in the era of the era where a lot of these individuals who was handcuffed by the police officers and pick cotton and get beat and whipped by these police officers. The same people who would try to call me conspiracy theorists, they would do the same thing if I was in the era of the cotton picking slavery era, and I spoke out against slave owners and their wrongdoings, and the people of the same skin complexion just sit there and defend the slave owners, being bitch made afraid to speak out against slave owners and try to like call me the crazy one when I'm the hero, and these slave owners you trying to defend that be heroes, they literally fucking you over in front of your faces, as if they do now. Because slavery builds a narcissistic, two-faced joker control that slave owners do to put people on stress levels on high. Because you get stressed out, and I made a video about this. If your own child tells you that bills are slavery, and if you don't pay it on time, they take your home away from you and try to make the masses be starving and homeless, and they be fucking making animals be starving, homeless and shit. If you like, you parents that have these conspiracy theorist children, or that's really the true spiritual intelligent children, they trying to help you out so you can elevate and be on all ultratarian activations for real, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's been a lot of people in my lifetime I tried to tell this stuff to, and they just kept denying me, so I had to stop talking to them. Because they just deny me every time I share some intuitional spiritual intelligence that you're not going to get from no Bible, no Quran. And let me tell you, this pre-K shit, this elementary shit is hoping that a Jashin, a Jehovah, or Jesus, or whoever come and end these fucking slavery with the narcissistic bills and all forms of slavery that's happening in the masses in the multiverse, right? It's planet Earth, planet Izodio, planet Azanita, Sadala, Venus, Mars, whatever the fuck. Like, this Jesus and Jashin and Jehovah character is not gonna save nothing. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you this, man. And I happen to be one of those children who was birthed and get labeled conspiracy theorist, but I'm really a chosen one. Because I will always get attacked by people of my own skin complexion anytime I speak out against the slave owners. When it comes to like people of my age group or my generation, people around my skin complexion, I get attacked by them while they don't even want to unplug from the indoctrination, which I can't help them with because they won't do it themselves, right? But yeah, man, the mom and dads out there that have these spiritual children that try to tell you some stuff and you keep over talking them when they trying to really put you on free game. That's why you had children in the first place. Why do you think a mom and dad has children in the first place? You look. Let me tell you. For example, for animals, for example, right? Like lion, jaguar, any type of animal that has children, right? They always take heed and comprehend to what their cubs are telling them. They always do that. The male lions and the female lions, they always pay attention and comprehend to what their cubs are telling them because their cubs are giving them free game on what they didn't get when they was younger. Like me, if I could tell my own mom and dad something like, you know, free game about this matrix, right? It could really help them elevate, you know what I'm saying? Because like anytime I'm speaking, I speak from intuition. I'm never incorrect when I'm speaking from intuition because it's coming from my mind, heart, and soul eye. And true enough, this necklaces that I'm wearing, right? The mind, heart, and soul eye of the Ankh represents the divine power of the god stars and the goddesses of the multiverse, right? I try to put a lot of my biological relatives on game with this stuff, or people I've known for a long time since a child about this stuff, but they never took heed. The only people who took heed to this stuff is people I haven't even known for a long time and I never met in person. But it's cool though, because when stuff hits the fan, you know what I'm saying? They all gonna be like the people who didn't take heed to me that I known for a long time. They're gonna be like, dang, you was right the whole time. And I'll be like, I told you so. I told you so. I told you about these false ass heroes who dress up in uniforms, right? These false ass polices who say they for the people, but they really not for the people, because they would have locked up these slave owners who indoctrinate the masses for the longest. I told you so, I was right. It's going to be like that. That's something I already saw in the future already that's going to happen. And I can't wait to have that look on my face where I'd be like, I told you so. So it's like, for you mom and dads out there, for you to avoid that mistake, take heed to what your spiritual children are saying, because these so-called conspiracy theorist children, they are always correct on what they say. They're never wrong. They speaking from the intuition of the mind, heart, and soul eye, for real.